Article usage is one of these perpetual acquisition problems in English. Even very advanced learners still seem to have problems after years of learning English. This is easily explained by the fact that you need different kinds of knowledge to be able to use articles, and these kinds of knowledge interact constantly, which makes article selection and use very difficult to become automatic. I had long thought about how I could help my students improve their performance with articles, so I came up with what I call the article tree. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This week I'm going to talk about the article usage in English and what you must know about it to become a master in the topic. Before we start though, for the grammar sticklers out there, I have simplified a lot of concepts. For example, definiteness is not quite the same as specificity, and I'm using the old terminology, articles instead of determiners, because it is articles that I think are very problematic for students. So that we are on the same page, when I say articles, I mean the words the, a and an, and the zero article, or the absence of an article. Articles always accompany nouns. For you to understand my article tree, you need to be quite familiar with countable and non-countable nouns in English. In this video, I am not going to talk about nouns, so I assume you know what I'm talking about when I say non-countable nouns. So here's my article tree. So as I said, we have to start with the concept of nouns when we are going to select the right article. After that, we are going to take a look at the type of noun that we are dealing with. There can be countable nouns and non-countable nouns. And then we come to what I mean specific, what I call specific, and I'm going to give you some examples in a minute. So after we discuss specificity, then we are going to talk about singular or plural forms. I put singular right after non-countable nouns because non-countable nouns, as you probably know, have no plural forms. If we take a look at the countable nouns, we are going to see that after you decide whether the noun is specific, then you have to take a look and see if the form of the noun is singular or plural. If we are talking about a noun that is countable, that is specific, and singular, we are going to use the. If we are talking about a noun that is countable, specific, and plural, we are going to use the. Now, if we take a look at a non-countable noun that is specific, then we are going to use the. What I mean by specific is this. A specific noun is a noun that both conversation partners know. They can be nouns that are unique in the universe, and that is why we assume everybody knows what or who they are. For example, the sun or the Prime Minister of Canada. There is only one sun in our solar system, and there is only one Prime Minister of Canada. In a conversation, normally we introduce an element which the speaker knows about but assumes the listener doesn't. And this is what I mean non-specific. For example, imagine the situation in which the person says, I bought milk. So milk is the element that was introduced to the other conversation partner. The other conversation partner says, okay. Then if we continue talking about the milk, we assume both conversation partners know what it is that we are talking about. So the person is going to say the milk was bad. And then I assume that the other person understands that it's the milk that I bought that was bad, not any other kind of milk. So non-specifics are nouns that have just been mentioned in a conversation or cannot be pinpointed in the world. There are many like them in the world, and it doesn't really matter which we are talking about because any would make the sentence true. For example, we sit on a chair, not on a desk. So it doesn't matter what chair, doesn't matter what desk. What matters here is that any chair is made for sitting, and we do not sit on a desk normally. Just so you know, I will also not talk about the difference between a and an in this video. So to complete my article tree, we talked about the specific nouns. Now let's talk about the non-specific. So if we're talking about a noun that is countable but non-specific, if it's in the singular form, then we are going to use a or an. If it's in the plural form, we are going to use the zero article, or in other words, we are not going to use articles. And that's also true for non-countable nouns. If we're talking about a non-countable noun that is non-specific, and of course it's always in the singular, then we are going to use the zero article or the absence of an article. So in other words, we're not going to use the article. So let's see how the article tree works in practice. So I have prepared 4 examples to show you. Imagine that your teacher gives you this sentence and says, okay, complete it with an article. So here we are going to evaluate the noun sun. So sun is a countable noun, of course. Then it is a specific noun because we know that there's only one sun in our solar system. The form is singular, so we are going to use the. So the sun's yellow. Second, imagine that here we have the word bird, right? So bird, again, noun, countable noun. Then it's also non-specific because the very first time that I'm mentioning it in a conversation, it is singular, so we are going to use a or an. In this situation, of course, we are going to say I saw a bird last night because bird starts with a consonant sound. Now let's take a look at another one. So imagine that I have this sentence here. Now we have a plural noun, right? So lions. So lions, that's a countable noun. That is a non-specific noun because it's the very first time that I'm talking about it. And also here we are not specifying the kind of lion, right? So this is true for all kinds of lions. So it's non-specific. It is plural, and because it is plural, then we are going to use the zero article. So we are just going to say lions live in Africa. And last but not least, imagine that we have this sentence here. Now both words are non-countable nouns, right? So we have justice and we have respect. So of course they are non-specific because it's the very first time that I'm talking about it, and it's a very general statement, so they all have singular forms. So we are going to use the zero article in both of them. We are going to say we need justice and respect. So there you go. I hope my article tree can help you out with your everyday articles in English. So just to recap, learn about countable and non-countable nouns before you start learning about articles. That's going to help you a lot. Remember that we need a context to make the right decision about articles. It's very difficult for you to decide which article you're going to use outside of every context, right? Depends on the context. Now, in a nutshell, countable nouns in English use articles all the time, unless they are non-specific. That's when you don't use articles. On the other hand, non-countable nouns do not use articles unless they are specific. In that situation, you do use articles. Now, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm planning on uploading a video at least once a month or more often, depending on how much free time I have. So thanks for watching. See you next time.